So any seeding session begins by consulting our planting schedule. The planting schedule lets us know what we need to seed in that week and how much we need to seed. So once we figure out what we need to seed, we get those seeds out from our trusty seed cabinet. Alright guys, so I got the goods. Let's go see what Landon's up to in the greenhouse. Oh, hello Landon. What are you working on there?
Just doing some seeding this week.
Cool. Do you think we'll ever be able to put it into the ground?
Pretty cold out there.
And we got another 6 to 10, 4 to 8 inches on the way, goodness knows what. But, you know, you gotta start sometime. Despite the frosty temps and the tundra conditions. So you got a big mound of stuff there.
Yep, this is our soilless mix that we get from Organic Mechanics. It's what we start all of our seeds in. It's a mix of like coconut fibers and rice hulls, which help improve drainage and hold on to water at the same time.
Awesome, so this way we don't have to make our own.
Nope, it's all pre-mixed.
Cool, good stuff. So you're going to start packing flats?
Yep.
Alright, let's take a look. Alright, so you're just like shoving dirt into the flat there, huh?
Yep, soilless mix.
Oh yeah.
No actual dirt in here.
So what are you looking for when you do this?
So you don't want to like cram it in. You're not trying to like pack it as each cell as full as possible, but you are trying to make sure that there are no air bubbles, so that there's a nice distribution of the soilless mix throughout all the cells. We mostly use 72 cell type trays. They're in a pattern that's 6 by 12. Like this.
Oh, nice.
So it's pretty easy to get the soil evenly spread over these larger type cells than some of the smaller ones that we use for like the onions over here.
And it looks like you're like poking little holes into the soil, is that correct?
Yep.
What goes in there?
The seeds.
The seeds. How do you know how deep to poke the hole?
So every package kind of tells you how deep different seeds like to be planted, so that's obviously the first step.
That's called the seeding depth? Okay.
But you also can just get a general sense of it based on the size of the seeds themselves. So I'm about to plant some beets. We mostly direct seed beets, but early on in the spring we'll do some in the greenhouse as well, so that we get a little bit of jump, so we have some stuff earlier in the season.
Those are big guys.
Yeah, so these are fairly big seeds.
Now, how do you know how many seeds to put into each hole?
The seed packages have a percentage on them. So these are actually from last year, and last year they were only 83%.
Okay.
So I'll probably do, you know, probably just 2 seeds, but maybe 2 or 3 seeds per cell in this to make sure I get good germination.
Okay, so it's based on the germination rate, but it is also based on a little bit on the cost of the seed. Is that correct?
Yes, that's true too. Beet seeds are pretty cheap, so we don't mind going a little heavy on those to make sure we get good germination.
And what's an example of an expensive seed?
It depends. Usually hybrid seeds cost more, especially new hybrids. So one of our more expensive seeds, for instance, are the Mountain Magic tomatoes that we grow. Those are the late blight resistant variety, but they also have really good germination, so we'll usually just do 1 seed per cell on those.
Cool. Well, I'll let you get to it. Alright, so you're just like dropping the seeds in, right? With your fingers. Looks good. Okay, so you have a flat, totally seeded, has all its seeds, and now what happens?
Now you gotta cover up the seeds, so you just take a bunch more of the germination mix, put it right on top of all those holes I just created. Press it in a little bit, and wipe it right off.
Cool, and from here it goes onto the heat mat, gets watered in, and we just wait for it to grow.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And tag in so you know what you're growing.
And then, awesome. Boom. Alright, so that's how seeding works at Root Matt's farm. But that's not how seeding works on all farms, is that correct?
No, there are a few different ways you can do it. Some people use soil blocks. They like them better because they don't allow the plants to get root bound.
Mm-hmm.
There are no real edges, it's just all soil that they grow in. It's just pack little bits of soilless mix as opposed to being put into trays. I like the trays because they're a little bit faster, but there are also ways that we could be even faster. There are vacuum seeders, which are great. They just suck up the seeds into the same formation as the trays, and then you release the vacuum and it drops the seeds right down, and you're good to go that way.
How do you, in instances like that, how do you, is it just, they just do one seed per cell?
Yep, I believe so.
Oh, okay.
There are all sorts of different plates that you can buy for it, so there might be ones where you can buy multiple seeds per cell, and I'm sure sometimes it vacuums up 2 instead of 1.
And how much time do you think we could gain if we were to switch to a system like that?
I'm not exactly sure. They're definitely faster. You still have to fill the flats with soil by hand, so that doesn't save you any time there. But
And do you dimple them too?
I think it depends on the seeds.
Okay, gotcha. But if we were to do that, when would we listen to our zombie audiobooks together? We wouldn't have any time for that.
That's a good question.
Thanks, Landon.